Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of GCC's Georgia Chiro Connection. I'm your host, Dr. Kathy, and I have the pleasure today of bringing on one of my favorite people, the sweetest woman in chiropractic that I know, Dr. Paula Hedglon. Hi, Dr. Paula.
Good afternoon. This is Happy Wednesday. It is. Hi, Kathy. Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely. Happy Wednesday and happy birthday to you and to your daughter.
Yep. 35. Unbelievable.
Time flies, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Yeah. Well, that's wonderful. Well, I want to jump right in first and foremost and congratulate you because last weekend, not that this one that just passed, but the weekend before at DE, you received the Dee Umber Leadership Award, which is a huge recognition. And I just wanted to, in case anybody wasn't there or didn't know, I just wanted to bring attention to that and acknowledge that and congratulate you.
Thank you. It was an honor. Trust me, total honor to get it from Dr. Dee especially. So that was really wonderful. And I was shocked. Totally.
See, and I love hearing that. And, we were talking a little bit before we got on live, and just to see Dr. Umber at the events and to see his presence and just to be around him, he's just got such an amazing way of making everyone feel so important. And he stops and has a conversation. He remembers everybody by name, and he just makes you feel so big and like the whole world stops just so that he can have a conversation with you. That's an amazing talent to be able to receive not only the award in his name, but to receive it from him. What an honor. I'm sure that must have felt wonderful.
Yes. And it's from the whole DE, not just him, but he's the one that actually presented it. So that was really an honor. So
very nice. Very nice. Now, Paula, I got to know you many, many years ago through DE. And I will tell you that hearing stories that you tell and hearing the love that you have for your patients and just the way that you absolutely genuinely care about people and about the people that come in your doors, it's so grounding and it's so emotionally vulnerable and so very connecting that every time I've had the privilege of hearing you speak, I just feel like another part of my heart just opened up. And if I could talk to you a little bit about that, you truly embody that loving service mindset more so than anyone I've known. How did you develop that? Is that just something you have, or where'd that come from?
Well, I think I've always had that feeling. And then I lost it when I first got in practice. And I realized that I was doing it rather than I wasn't doing it for God. And I wasn't looking at people spiritually like their spiritual being. And I think by going to DE, it kind of opened my heart a lot more. And here that's somebody that's here. And I was just going to say, Kathy, that Dr. Sigafus, who's on my wall, has a big influence in that, and going to hear him and see him. So that might have been him right there saying, right. Acknowledge me. But Dr. Signal, that's how it kind of developed, because I would hear these stories, and I've been in chiropractic all my life, but when you see the actual transformation in people, you just develop that. You just love for life. And to see that, and just by chiropractic alone, adjusting, not just nutrition or anything, the changes in people, you really feel that kind of warmth, and you feel that energy, and you feel that loving spirit. And it just gets you. It gets you right in the heart, when you see that. And a lot of times you don't see it because you don't see inside the body, but it's happening inside to them. And we don't do the healing. They do their own healing, just releasing the interference. That's the amazing thing. So
I love hearing that.
I wonder who that was.
I know. Who just made that jump off my wall? This is the second time this has happened during a GCC call. So there's something going on.
Energy, right?
It is. It's energy is everywhere. So speaking of energy, oftentimes I speak to docs around the state, especially at continuing ed events, that are facing challenges in their practice, or they're struggling, or, they've got personal issues going on that are affecting their offices, or just dealing with personal issues to begin with. And it might be health issues or relationship issues or family issues, caring for elderly family members, whatever they're going through. And sometimes all of us can get in a situation where the obstacles that we're facing seem to be so big that we lose sight of what we're gifted with, or we lose sight of really serving the people for the right reason. So has there ever been a time in your practice, and I know you said initially, but has there ever been another time where you were facing some challenges, or going through things where it felt kind of hard to serve your way through and you had to find your way back?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I took care of my dad who had dementia after my mom passed, and I kept him in his house. And it was like, it was a daily thing that I had to go there even after practice. So I felt torn, but I was, yet I was so connected to both. And I did feel that feeling, where you weren't doing like you should. But what happens is once I get through the door here at the office, my love button goes on and I'm totally surrendering to whatever God wants me to do, and to stick with it. And that's the one thing. And I always think of the people. I always think of the people where what they're going through. But I think all the challenges that we've had, everybody has challenges, can help other people that have the same challenge, because you know what it's like. You have experienced it. You're able to understand and have empathy, not sympathy, but empathy for it. And this way you can help build them up and re-inspire them and build them up and say, this is only a transition time. This is only a temporary time. You will get through this, and God has a journey for you, and it makes you stronger. And that's the thing. So when you are clear yourself and inside yourself, and you clear yourself out, everything else around you is attracted to you, and they get cleared out too. So I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm just kind
It
of,
does. It
okay.
does.
So you have to
Which,
work on yourself. So
so that leads me to the question, do you have a routine or a ritual or something that you do in the mornings or on the way into the office to kind of shed the husks and leave the world outside and not bring it into the office with you?
Oh, absolutely. I've been doing Tai Chi Qigong for about 8 years, and I do a little bit every morning, just a little bit to whatever the stretches are. And I do my meditation. And of course, Peter Amlinger has a meditation every Friday. I do that. And then when I come into the office, I do a prayer and I do some kind of reading with my staff before we start. And that's really, really, really important. But I also do at night, I'm religiously doing yoga and Tai Chi. So that's part of it. But I'm also doing the meditation, the readings of 49 breaths. And I do a lot of that inspiration meditation.
So some people would say, come on, Paula, you've been in practice for so long. You're doing so well. You've had such a wonderful, beautiful practice. Do you really need to keep doing all that stuff every day? Like, aren't you done with it? Aren't you good enough at this point?
No, I really love doing it. It's not, oh, I have to do this. I really love doing it. And it's like, it's part of me now. So it's like, it's part of me because I know that I'm helping other people be better, because I need to be better. And there's always changes in your practice. Don't think if we've been here for so long, like over 36 years in practice. I was just talking, I must have had 36 different CAs. I must have had, I don't know how many interns. You are constantly changing, but hopefully it's a spiral and not a circle. So you're constantly changing in the practice, and there's constantly new things and new, it's like you're doing it over and over and over again, but that's okay, because that's going to help a lot of people. So.
And I know that you help a lot of people. I love hearing some of the stories that you share at DE. Do you have a story that you would like to share with us today?
Actually, I have two, if you don't mind.
Yeah, we love it.
It changed me. That's why I'm going to tell you. I had a gentleman who had cancer, and he had 12 tumors of cancer in his lungs, and it was terminal. And he went to the hospital. He was a friend of my dad's, I guess. He went to the hospital, and I would actually go to the hospital and adjust him. Not you'd go as a friend, but you adjust him. And every time he did get adjusted, he would cough up blood. And he was like, I'm going to beat this. I'm going to beat this. And I would feel so sad because I did not know. He looked terrible. He lost so much weight. And he started listening to funny movies. He started to change everything, his diet, the way he did. He didn't do anything except radiation, no chemo, anything. So I'm going to beat this. Well, I go back to the hospital, and he's no longer there. They don't tell you anything, nothing. And I just said, this guy had such a positive outlook. I just don't know where he is. He had no children, no spouse. So I'm doing an orientation on a Wednesday night, or health talk, whatever you want to call it. And it was 2 weeks later, he comes walking in, and he sits down. He says, I'll talk to you afterwards. So he was just kind of straight faced, didn't have a smile. And I thought, oh boy, he's just given up, wanted to go home. So I go through everything with everybody, and he comes in the office and says, I don't know if you'll believe this, but I coughed up 12 tumors and my lungs are clear. And I said, what? He says, I'm going back to be a pilot in New York. So I just wanted to thank you for everything that you've done. And I said, well, I didn't do anything. He says, I know, my body did the healing, but I'm given a second chance. So I'm going to go do this. And it changed me, Kathy. It changed me because there was a confirmation that you don't know whatever diagnosis you're given, and whether it's cancer or something, you don't know. And it could, even if it went the other way, I did what I was supposed to do, which was go in, check and release the nerve interference so his body can be clear. You don't know if that's a healing that he dies. The Sigfo says sometimes when you die, that's a healing or alive, but it changed me. So I never gave up on people, like when they told me that, the diagnosis. But the other thing that changed me was can I tell you another testimonial?
Yes, I'm so touched by this first one. And before you tell the other one, I just want to say, there's that reminder that we never know how big what we do, and we never know how far reaching, and think of the impact that that's had on every person this man will ever touch for the rest of his life.
So what happened was there were 3 sisters, and 2 would come in, and the third one would say, stay in the car. So my CA came to me and says, do you know they have a sister that stays in the car while the others get adjusted? I said, really? So I approached them the last time they came in, and I said, what's going on? I says, oh, she's very afraid. I says, okay, well, let's all go out to the car. So I knocked on the window. I said, what's going on? Why aren't you coming in? And she says, look, I can't move my neck. See? And I says, well, I'm not going to do anything. First of all, I'm going to take x-rays. We're going to see what's there. So she came in. We took the x-rays. She was fused. She was actually fused from C2, which is the second bone in the neck, all the way to 7. She was fused. But the atlas was not fused. She was a very large woman, and she came in, and I would toggle her. So we took x-rays. She became a patient. I toggled her. And even after the first toggle, she can move her neck. Now, that's not the miracle I'm going to tell you about. What happened is 3 months later, because I probably didn't take a good history because I wanted to get her in, I did not know that she had 1 kidney. The other kidney was not formed from birth. She was 44 years old. What she found out 3 months later, she says, I have a story for you. She goes, my kidney regrew and I have done nothing but chiropractic. After 44 years, the side that she got toggled was a kidney that was malformed, which regrew to the same size kidney. All I did, Kathy, was toggle her. I didn't touch any low back or anything. All I did was toggle her. Is that amazing to you? It was amazing to me. Right. And that was another confirmation. So I have to, my husband actually reminded me of this testimonial because I didn't say it. He says, you should tell one about the kidney. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll say it on Kathy's. I was like, this is like amazing to think about it. So that's the power of the adjustment of the atlas, and power of, it may not happen to everybody. And of course it doesn't, but with this one, it did. And another confirmation from me that healing can happen no matter what. So
it's a reminder that, in chiropractic, we often talk about find it, fix it, leave it alone, right? Detect it, correct it.
Exactly.
And then detach from the outcome. And it's not up to our belief. It's not up to our faith. It's not up to our hope. And sometimes it's not even up to our intention. We want to have good intention when we deliver the adjustment, but that patient, their body is the one doing the magic. And sometimes they're ready for it. Their body is just ready for it.
And again, it was my intention. I'm going to tell you this right now, was not that, because I did not know that. My intention was, oh, she couldn't move her neck and I'm going to give her adjustment. She can move her neck. And that's what a lot of people think, but it's a lot bigger than that. So that was, and that was quite a few years ago, but I just wanted to tell you that testimonial. That was amazing.
I love these stories because it's a reminder that in our offices, we need to expect miracles. And I think sometimes we get so jaded to the day-to-day miracles that happen in our offices that we don't even see them as miracles anymore. We just expect them to happen. And oftentimes we'll even say things to patients when they come in, they tell us, wow, I'm doing so much great. And we say things like, of course, I expected that to happen. But the reality is, for that person, it's a really big deal that even that she could rotate her head. Forget the kidney part, the fact that she could rotate her head and have some movement, and then to take it to the next level. So I think we need to go back to that mindset in chiropractic where we need to expect miracles in our offices.
Yeah, it's true. And that's our intention when we see them, because we have to see them as a spiritual being, because the spirit is what gives us the physical. So, if we can do that, and I'm not talking, I'm talking spiritual, it's the innate intelligence that does the healing. So that's what we have to see. And that's nothing is bigger than life. That's what we always say, right? So, I mean, that's a life-changing testimonials. Those are life-changing people. And on a day-to-day basis, that can happen to every single person comes in your space without you knowing it. And it could happen inside and without us knowing it. And that's not our job. Our job is to release whatever is blocking them so that they can continue with the life that they have. So this is great. I get excited just talking about it.
I know. I love it. Like I said in the beginning, I love being around your energy, because your passion for chiropractic, your love for humanity, and your willingness, desire, and commitment to really serving at such a high level. It's so palpable, and it's an enjoyable experience every time to be around you, because just letting a little of your energy get on me, I feel like a better person every time. And I feel like I could go out and serve the world on a better level today because of being in your presence. So thank you.
Thank you so much. So
I truly appreciate you. Before I let everybody go today, I would be remiss if I did not mention that next weekend in Savannah, we have our next CE event coming up. It's November 4th and 5th. And the awesome news for GCC is this is our biggest event in Savannah. This is our 10-year event. Our registration has already surpassed registration in past years, and we still have another week to go. And of course, we always have people that come and register at the door. If you're one of those people that's going to register late, just at least give us a holler. Let us know so we can make sure we've got enough space for you, because that is coming up next weekend. It's Savannah, November 4th and 5th. We've got a big sponsor for the event. It is a local boating club. So that's kind of exciting. I'm excited about that. And then the second weekend in December, that's December 9th, 10th, and 11th, we have our 41st annual convention. Don't forget that Friday night, we've got philosophy with Dr. Brian Moriarty, followed by our casino night. So we need you to get registered for that casino night so that we can budget enough tables, make sure we have enough for everybody to play. But get registered for that. That's our big holiday party. That is Friday night, December 9th. Our event goes Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And Saturday night, we've got another philosophy event where we've got a panel of some different docs from all different demographics and areas and different types of practices that'll all be up there sharing some of their knowledge, experience, and philosophy with you. So check it out. We've got Savannah next weekend, November 4th and 5th, all 20 CE hours. And then, of course, our convention, December 9th, 10th, and 11th, again, all 20 hours. So you have every opportunity to get all your hours before the year is over. Don't forget, docs, this is a Georgia renewal year. You have to renew by December 31st. And a little bird told me that the state may not be sending out those reminder cards this year. So put it on your calendar, mark it off. I'll remind you every Wednesday from here on out. Make sure you renew your license, because you may not get a renewal card this year in the mail. You may, but you may not. So before I let everybody go, Dr. Paula, any last words?
No, just I just am excited for you and for Georgia and for everything what they're doing. And I think what you're doing, Kathy, is a great service. This is such a wonderful thing that you're doing. It's not just for you, it's for everybody. And I think I'm blessing you, and you are blessed. And I thank you for doing this, and thank you for asking me. So I love and appreciate you. You know that. So
yes,
I love everybody.
Thank you so much. We love and appreciate you, Paula, and to everybody else watching. Thank you so much for being here. Whether you're watching this on the replay, you're watching it live, we appreciate you tremendously. We look forward to connecting with you in person and seeing you here again next week for GCC's Georgia Chiro Connection. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Big love. Thank you, Paula.